Hello everybody, welcome back to American Truck Simulator. We are still in Steamboat Springs from last time with our freshly customized truck. Look at the steering wheel we put in it, it looks so good. But we are going to start a job that will take us from Steamboat Springs to Garden City, Kansas. It is a delivery of tires that we are going to be taking. Alright, we're picking up from the Voltison Motors here. I don't know how you say that company name actually, but it's fake, so it's not like it actually matters. Oh, I stopped just short. But yes, this is the delivery we are taking. 42,000 pounds of tires from Steamboat Springs to Garden City. We are all connected up and we're ready to go. Let's do a quick trailer brake test. Yeah, that definitely worked. And let's get underway. So, how have you guys been? I've been okay recently. Just having trouble deciding on what to record. I do want to play Red M with my friends, and Red M is the Red Dead Redemption 2 equivalent of 5M, for those of you that don't know. And I just don't think any of them own Red Dead Redemption 2, which is, you know, only a slight problem to using a mod for Red Dead Redemption 2. On top of that, you know, it's just a matter of deciding what other games to play, because I don't want to, I get burnt out from games very easily. Like, I have phases, if you know what I mean. Like, I'll really want to play American Truck Simulator for like 2 weeks, and then I'll really want to play, say, I don't know, Total War, Three Kingdoms, for example, for 2 weeks. And so I'm trying not to get into that those phases so that I can provide consistent content of each game, instead of, you know, spending phases in them, uploading them. So then people would be like, oh, where's this game? Or where's this game? Because, you know, it's just not a good way to run a channel, is it? So one thing I learned between the last episode of American Truck Simulator and this episode is that Steamboat Springs is a ski resort town, which makes complete sense given its location, and I kind of pieced it together from like, why would Steamboat Springs of all cities be an American Truck Sim? And I have to say, while skiing is not my thing, I would go to Steamboat Springs to ski. I would just have to learn how to ski first. I do know my episodes have been kind of long. I am going to try and shorten them, so I think this is going to be a one delivery episode. That being said, it's a roughly 600-mile delivery, so it's not like we'll be short of content here, if you know what I mean. I swear, we are going to hit every red light imaginable. We're already getting into the fun twisty roads part, and with an uphill climb with a very low horsepower truck. The keep right except to pass with the curve and a visible uphill gradient is very foreboding as a trucker, even a gaming trucker, not a real one. One thing I'm trying to figure out in videos is like the balance between cinematography, like, you know, leaving in silent periods, just watching me operate the truck, but also providing enough commentary to keep it interesting. I also would like to find like that niche for my YouTube channel, because I feel like there's a lot of flight sim, and why did I get in this lane? I should not have done that. There's a lot of flight sim YouTubers, there's a lot of truck sim YouTubers. I feel like Red Dead is one of those niches that isn't really put on YouTube a lot, and I feel like I could take advantage of that and make a name for myself, but only time will tell, really. I would also have to find more friends who own Red Dead Redemption. Did not handle that curve well at all. I drifted into the other lane for sure. A fun thing to do in American Truck Sim is to take your truck through Yellowstone and Rocky Mountain National Parks. I love the pop-up on the GPS you get when you do that. The game's like, you cannot go through here, or truckers are not prohibited through Yellowstone National Park, and it's like insert meme saying that sign can't stop me because I can't read. Our truck is struggling a little bit. I'm having to use really low gears to get it to even maintain the speed, let alone increase it. That's okay though, we are hauling, a metric ton, more than a metric ton actually, literally more than a metric ton of tires. I can't even use a metric ton as a form of hyperbole because it's factually incorrect. That is how much. I feel like that's something we forget as regular car drivers on the road, is how heavy trucks actually are. And the way some people drive around them is like you are trying to die. And it doesn't matter whether you feel like you're in the right or not as a driver. Physics doesn't care who's right. You will lose the battle against the truck when it comes to living or not living. Oh, we might be in trouble here. We might be in trouble here. The truck is... Okay, maybe not. Narrowly avoided stalling the truck on the hill. My nemesis. A hairpin corner. Oh my god, that's really tight. It feels like I'm rallying in a truck right now. Maybe that's another series I could start uploading, is a rally series. So, speaking of sports like rally, major upset in the cricket world with the United States beating Pakistan of all teams. I kind of follow cricket, like I say that loosely. I don't watch games because they are at really horrendous times for the United States, and also because you need to subscribe to Willow TV in the United States in order to watch cricket. And if you're wondering what Willow TV is, so is literally the rest of the world, bar the 9 Americans who pay to watch cricket. That cricket game between America and Pakistan reminds me of the Cricket World Cup final between England and New Zealand. I almost called them Britain, but I should have known better because more often than not, there's no Great British team for anything. The Ashes, by far, have got to be the most exciting part of cricket, though. And the Ashes, that is the rivalry between England and Australia, takes place every 2 years, and it's the multi-day form of cricket, Test cricket. Test cricket, I find, is better to watch as highlights than to watch the actual game. I have to admit, it does get incredibly dull watching an actual Test cricket match. But, that being said, the Test matches I tried to watch were right in, the May, June part of 2020. So, make of that what you will. One game I would like to make content for that my friends do have is Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is really fun until you run into, that one toxic crew that can't just leave you alone. I am definitely more of a PvE guy when it comes to Sea of Thieves, but I will fight only if I have to. I am the helmsman of our crew, and not a very good one at that, at least when it comes to fighting. Being helmsman is a very unrewarding job sometimes, because, you end up sailing when you are not in a fight, and it's just like, why am I here? Oh, it's about to get interesting once you get a truck speed limit. This should be really interesting. I think that's a sign to use a lower gear, if you ask me. There's a runaway truck ramp, but it doesn't feel like we're going downhill at all. We have almost made it back to Denver, and what I would call the brief moment of civilization that we will experience on this delivery as I drift into the other lane. I should put up a counter of how many times I drift into the other lane, but the video would never make it to YouTube. It'd be so many times. I am recording at 11:20 at night, so my cognitive ability right now is incredibly low. Oh, I haven't taken my meds. That's not gonna help. But I will take those later. And on top of that, I think I'm running off 6 hours of sleep and 6 hours of sleep only, which is not good for cognitive ability on its own. SCS adding in convoy mode, or multiplayer if you will, to both Euro Truck Sim 2 and American Truck Sim was definitely one of the best things they could have done for the longevity of their game. But God, is that going to ruin the chaos that, well, it's not going to ruin it, but the chaos that was Truckers MP is just not going to be the same. Because I feel like now, if you're playing with Truckers, playing on Truckers MP, you're playing for the experience of chaos. You are actively seeking it. Whereas before, when Truckers MP was your only option, you just kind of were victimized to the chaos, rather you wanted it or not. I am not doing that. I am not getting off the interstate just to go right back on it. No thank you. I will not be having any of what you've been drinking. Driving a real semi-truck seems like it would be an absolutely terrifying job. I drove a U-Haul box truck once and that was not for me. And I unfortunately am going to have to do it again, but alas. I don't understand how there are truckers that do like 80, like 75, when the speed limit's 75, that's okay. You can do that, truckers, whatever. But once you start going above 75 in a commercial vehicle, specifically a big rig, I feel like a speeding violation of that nature in a semi-truck should get your CDL revoked. No questions asked. You can't drive a truck again. Because that shows such a severe lapse in judgment that can kill people. And we should not have drivers like that on our roads. What is going on with this dude's trailer? Did you see that? It was glitching out. I am falling asleep here, and that is not just due to my sleep deprivation. I-70 is always it's like the physical manifestation of a lullaby. If you took something and tried to put someone to sleep as a physical item or entity, that entity would be Interstate 70. Especially through Kansas, but we're in Colorado right now, so that really doesn't work. Although I think we are about to reach Kansas. Don't ever do this in a truck. What I just did. The aggressive lane shift right as the other car is passing you. You guys ever want to go on vacation somewhere and then you look at your bank account and you realize, oh, I'm going to work instead. I don't have a job, so I can't say that, but you get the point. Like, I'm not going anywhere I want to anytime soon. And then people will tell you travel the world while you're young. I'm like, I can't. I broke. Oh God. Oh, I didn't. That could have been really, really bad. Well, it wouldn't have been because traffic offenses are off, but I definitely overshot the scale. We have made it to Kansas though. And that's probably the most excited you will ever hear someone say that sentence. It's so dark and gloomy. This looks like a real Kansas thunderstorm. Are we gonna get a thunderstorm? That would actually be kind of cool. Have you guys ever been in the middle of saying a sentence and then you realize I'm making a complete fool out of myself? That's what it feels like making YouTube videos sometimes. But, you know, with the way I am, I just make a fool out of myself naturally. I think instead of turning right here, we are going to fill up our truck with gas, because if I do not do it now,
好的，让我们再
I
计
will
算一条
forget.
新的路线。
I will just turn left out of the gas station instead of doing all of that route advisor. But if I do not fuel up now, I will forget and we will run out of gas. Look at the diesel price on the route advisor. That's just the price of gas, like unleaded 87 octane in a lot of places right now. It's probably higher than that in California. There's no way diesel's that cheap. People were definitely right when they said the American truck sim economy is too easy. There is one trend in newer games like Sea of Thieves and Red Dead Redemption 2 that I've noticed, and you're gonna make fun of me for saying this, but it is incredibly hard to see at night. And I know you're not supposed to be able to see easily at nighttime, okay? I know that. But from a gameplay perspective, you can't make it near impossible to see. I should not have to go into my graphic settings for Sea of Thieves and turn the contrast down so I can see at night. And another thing that I hate is when video game developers kind of dictate how their game should be played. And this isn't really a gameplay thing, but still, I feel like letting me see at night more than you could in real life, if I want to, is something that you don't have a right as the developer to tell me, no, you can't do that. We have made it to Garden City. We are taking this to the Peterbilt appropriately, actually. And we are even more appropriately rolling up in a Peterbilt truck. Very thematic. It's also good because we're going to discover a Peterbilt truck dealer out of this. It'd be nice to have that. We only
靠
have...
右，然后右转。
Thank you. We only have one truck dealer discovered so far, and that is the Volvo in Hayes, I believe. It's whatever Volvo dealer is closest to Hayes. Don't mind me turning through the grass there. That didn't happen at all. You saw nothing.
左转。
Let's make sure we take this turn appropriately wide enough. One thing I dislike about the discovery aspect of the game is that you'll get to a point where I can see while driving, oh hey, there's a truck dealer there. And then you won't discover it, and it's like, is my character blind? Why does that not count as discovering it? Like, if it's rendered in and my player can see it, I should be able to discover it. Like, why even bother with the resources then? Why put it there? If you know what I mean. This should be one of the easiest backs of my life, so you already know it is going to turn into one of the most difficult. We're not off to a good start here with how crooked the trailer is. You might hear my steering wheel in the background. It's belt driven, and unfortunately there's just not a lot I can do about the noise. But I do apologize for that. This is the one time my low microphone quality will come in handy though, is it will not be that loud if you do hear it. Let's straighten out now. Actually, we're not doing too badly with this back. It's just going to be kind of crooked, but this is the first try backing it. Like, didn't even have to pull the truck up once. Nicely done. Let's take a look at how well I parked. Actually, that looks pretty acceptable to me. That's a really good parking job, I feel like. It was also a really easy one, so not much credit there, but you have to take the small victories in life. Oh, I need to take my meds. So we'll level up here, I hope. We did. Almost 2 whole levels. And then we will go long distance 4, apply that, and that's going to do it for this episode, as I do actually have to take my medication now. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.